And basically what these beings need to see is that the human race acknowledges the fact that different dimensions exist, because they're going to be coming from different dimensions, and we just want a multi-dimensional awareness of that, so that the human race has the best possible information that they can work with. And then we're going to need 10 private jets. I wrote down more, but 10 private jets will do it, so that we can fly the angels and the saints around to different castles and get these castles up and running. And all these saints are going to need a car. So probably I was thinking like Mustang GTs, Monte Carlo SS's, and Porsches. Those are 3 nice vehicles. So we'll need 10,000 of those. And then we'll need 5,000 RVs, so that the staff of the castles can go out in RVs if they have to take a long trip and go somewhere to a populated area that doesn't have the mode of transportation to get to the castle. They can go out to different areas all over the planet and help people like that. And we're going to also want to change that pyramid structure of the government. Also, a procedure specifically for handling people who are getting strong-armed or getting their life threatened. Here's a quick little procedure. If anyone gets their life threatened, you'd want to bring that to the attention of a level 4 saint or above after the website and the computer are up and running. You want to bring that threat to the attention of a level 4 saint, and then the person who was threatened and the family of the people who were threatened would go off the grid temporarily and enter a castle or a very safe place, somewhere where we know is safe. And then the saints would travel back through time to the point where the person was threatened, to that specific time. And we would temporarily restrain the being doing the threatening. And this can be done like some beings can time travel just with a matter of consciousness. Also, there are 600 time travel machines on this planet in the physical. 600. And this information I got from the Pleiadian race. But these time travel machines aren't being used. Obviously, they're not being used for world peace, because there's wars all over the planet. But that's what these time travel machines should really be used for, is world peace and the prevention of people getting threatened and assassinated and things like that. Because that's the only thing that keeps dark forces in charge of the planet, is behavior like and conduct like that. But even the people that are doing the assassinations, they're not being told the truth, and a lot of the times, or at least when, in my experience of being an assassin, a lot of times I didn't remember doing it. So I'd wake up the next day and I had no knowledge at all that I had just assassinated someone the night before. And that's just my personal experience with it. But it just boils down to being able to take responsibility for your actions, and that's part of the course. So you'd basically go back, temporarily restrain that being that did the threatening, and then you would put them through they would have to see a parapsychologist, where they would get the best psychological treatment available on the planet. And from there, we would telepathically determine how if they are going to be a menace to society or be a danger to society if they're released, and then they would be either chipped or monitored to prevent them from threatening anybody else. And if it was determined that that being was not fit to, or any being is not fit and will never be fit to interact in society again, then that being would have to be euthanized and euthanized with saints around to ensure that their soul didn't get stuck between realms, and that they actually make it to a higher level of existence, or at least reincarnate into a place where they have a fighting chance to spiritually develop and flourish, so that we're not stuck down in this dimension on this reincarnation wheel. You know, the main thing about this project is to prevent the unnecessary recycling of souls. But sometimes it is necessary to recycle a soul if they did not pass the test of life and they don't know how to act at a higher level of existence. But and basically what we want to do, if a soul absolutely does have to be recycled and they just cannot move up, we want to make sure that they go to a place that they can spiritually develop and evolve, so that they're free of this reincarnation problem that exists here. And that holds true for everybody, because we're all God, you know, no matter what. So, you know, and the people that need help the most are the ones who are least likely to get it, and that's really what perpetuates that problem from happening. And then you want to, once that being did get released, say they were not euthanized, and hopefully we don't have to euthanize anybody, but basically we would be monitoring their progress with telepathy, remote viewing of an extraterrestrial caliber. So you'd be really making sure that being does okay. And if these beings put as much effort into helping other people, and you know, the entire human race put as much effort into helping other people as we did hurting other people or trying to, you know, get one over on someone else, we would just be evolving like crazy. And because the human race is so talented and courageous, so what we want to do is start capitalizing on that talent and the courage. And basically, and we'd also want to make sure that being had a job in a safe, honest, and loving environment. So, and that'd be part of turning an assassin into a saint, and that'd be a really spectacular saint. To turn an assassin or a super soldier into a saint, you know, that'd be a saint that who wouldn't want a saint like that with those skills? I mean, that would be the best saint ever. So I say we just make that happen. And then we would have to just update the website appropriately and keep all saints informed as to progress there. Now, in the process of the shift, what I've done was I've divided it among industries, and because different industries have different things, that different ways they feed into different problems, and they also have a different skill set and different abilities. Like if you're a doctor, you're going to have certain skills. If you're a lineman, you're going to have different skills. If you're a warrior, you're going to have different skills. And we want to capitalize on all the skills that everybody has. And so I've just divided it among the industries so that people end up working in an industry where they're best suited and they most enjoy, and they can make the best positive change for that. So in the process of the shift, the two worst problems in regards to the soul recycling issue on this planet are, and the two main industries that put into this problem the most are space operations and the mainstream media. Those are the two worst problems. So when we shift those, we want to shift those at the same time. We want to do mainstream media and all forms of communication and space operations simultaneously. And we want to do those first, because if we do a smaller, like say we go to close one prison, and you know there's one prison and 5 police departments all around the prison, and the police and the prison guards wake up and say, okay, well, you know, It's not the best thing in the world for the human race to have this prison here. It's not good to lock up human beings in a cage. And you go to close it, well, there's going to be a bunch of cameras and space operations and the media that are going to be able to thwart those efforts with war or whatever means there is, and we want to take control. We want saints and angels in control of the mainstream media and space operations prior to upgrading the rest of the industries on the planet. So we'll want to do those two industries simultaneously. And then after that, we'll want to do the education industry. After that, we'll want to do the healthcare industry. After that, we're going to want to do these following industries at the same time: the prison system, the government, emergency services, military, energy, MMA, real estate, transportation, and insurance. And we want to upgrade all of those industries on the planet simultaneously. And then after that is the economy. And that's pretty much it. So that's the order. I mean, that's the bottom line, basic order of how we want to upgrade, or how I feel the best way to upgrade these problems are. Because if you're trying to fix a problem in one little town, and the state government is working against you, and the federal government's working against you, and who knows, maybe the state government and federal government wake up, and then space operations, if they're working against you, well, there's 80 militaries on the planet, and they can tell any one of these 80 militaries who have been isolated to do anything that'll stop the human race from evolving. So basically, we'll want to go to the root of the problem first, and go from there. I mean, one of the well, there's a lot of major things involved here, but one of the major things that I'm paying special attention to is the PTSD problem in the military. And when I first became aware of that problem and how significant and severe it is, I was taken back. It was very difficult for me to even believe that this problem existed at the level that it does. So when I started really looking into it and looking into the root cause of it, I started, going down the rabbit hole, looking at, okay, well, why does this problem exist? And I look at it kind of like a leaf on a tree. And then when I followed it back, I looked at the whole branch and saw how that problem festered. And then after looking to the whole branch, then I went down to the trunk of the tree, and then went down to the root system and saw that it's a huge root system. And then when you follow from the actual root of the problem, which is the education and the money, and then you follow back up the tree, you see how many leaves there are and see how many problems that there actually are. And understanding the fact that all is one, it's not just, I understand that all is one, and every single person on this planet is just as important as the other. So it's not just one military that I'm trying to help here. I'm trying to help, there's approximately 80 militaries on the planet, and I'm trying to help all 80 of them. And there are some militaries who have a worse PTSD problem than the U.S. military, which is tough to believe, but that is actually true. And understanding the fact that all is one, and it's just a uniform, and people are getting us to fight in wars over lies, over natural resources. It's just it's just a very big thing. So I mean, I could complain about the PTSD problem all day long, and a lot of people do that, but nothing ever happens. So basically what I have done was I've followed it all the way right down to the root, and I'm addressing the root causes of the problems, and I'm not addressing the symptoms. The symptoms can be addressed after the root's been addressed, but I'm focusing on the root, and the most important issues that I feel are here and that need to be addressed. collectively as a planet.